Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Alright, once again giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, Barakatha. Alright, it's going to be another lesson. Alright, and this right here, and you like notice like the quote and all that. Alright, this lesson has to do with people who alright, because everyone who receives whether they see us on the highways and byways, on YouTube, however they receive this message and all that, they're either marked for salvation or destruction. And if you're marked for destruction, that's pretty much it. As far as if you vex the Akim, they end up putting a curse on you, or you just like straight up reject the word, or how it says in Proverbs 13:13, all right, he who despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. All right, and another thing is, it's like the reason why this picture's up. All right, this is it's like the main character of this anime called Fist of the North Star, and I highly recommend it, for just because it's like this guy is based on both Bruce Lee and Mad Max, or and it's got a lot of post-apocalyptic themes and all that, or and also themes about spiritual power, or and the wicked being punished and all that. All right, but this character right here, his with his art, all right, he'll, whenever, for the most part, whenever he hits an opponent, or sometimes they don't feel the damage, or of his punches, or just right off the bat. Sometimes it takes like a few minutes. All right, sometimes it takes like a few seconds, but they don't know, and this is this quote, this is one of his catchphrases, or right before, or his opponent's about to be destroyed. All right, and usually the vessels that he destroys, they end up first they think that nothing's going to happen to him, and then they start to they begin to explode. They die a very horrendous death. Or with these scriptures, all right, the scriptures are similar to to this art. All right, because when you hear this word and reject it, it's only a matter of time, or until the Lord brings judgment. All right, more than likely that judgment's going to be destruction, or whether it be the missiles. All right, but the thing is, people, there's still people, I've seen scoffers, we've condemned, outside of camp, talking shit like well, I'm not, oh, look at me, I'm not dead yet. All right, but it's only a matter of time, if you're not of the elect, if the Lord's not dealing with you. All right, if you scoff and condemn this word, or that's going to be your destruction is going to be your judgment. All right, Ecclesiastes, all right, 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. All right, so according to the scriptures, or throughout the ancient world until now, sometimes it would take another lifetime, for someone to receive condemnation for their wickedness, or maybe it's like a few years down, or there'd be people who will fall out of the truth, or be like a good 7 or 8 years, nothing's happening, everything's going easy. All right, but then that judgment comes down, or it either it's either a wrap for them, or it ends up like the apostles say, they get jacked up, or and sometimes that happens, or because this, even with this show, sometimes he'll hit a pressure point, or and they might not, they'll get like stuck, or they'll hit a pressure point, and they'll, or his enemy will like walk, do something like commit suicide, like unwillingly, like start like walking out of towards a cliff, without without his control, and things of that nature. Or and that's, there's so many ways, that the Heavenly Father, or can render judgment. But we're gonna get like 2 Corinthians 10:4. Actually, I'm going to start at 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Or at the same time, this is a spiritual thing. Or we're not out there picking fights, and things like that. This isn't a gang. All right, this isn't a paramilitary group. Like some other Israelite groups, believe. Or we're the only weapon we have is the scriptures. Right? Our sword is the scriptures. Or and part of that, we wait on the Lord. We wait on the Lord, for his judgment. All right, Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right, and then it goes into like how he's going to punish the nations and all that. All right, but you have to wait. All right, just know that sooner or later, or whoever comes up against you for standing up for this or this knowledge, this ministry, all right, is or you can guarantee that they're at some point the Lord's going to deal with them. Unless there's a case of Paul and all that, or being a chosen vessel of the Lord, but he still got jacked up and humbled. All right, but all right, just you got to leave it in the Lord's hands. All right, so back in 2 Corinthians. All right, 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Okay. All right. So it's like basically it's just like brought this up because the way like the scriptures operate, the way the Lord renders judgment, or it's not always immediate, or and as far as this guy's art, it's always it doesn't do external damage, it does internal damage, or just like the scriptures, when you get cut with the scriptures, or I've seen I've seen it happen on the highways and byways on numerous times. One testimony, actually I'll give you a couple of testimonies. Like one, it was about almost 6 years ago, before I was in any type of camp in Cleveland was established. I was having having like a dialogue. He was gainsaying, but just for edification. All right, this Amalekite, he he was just I was just telling him all the scriptures about who the real Jews were and all that, or and he made a smart remark, like have fun with your kosher Jesus and all that. or I just like shrugged it off. That it comes with the territory, people talking shit and all that. All right, but he crosses the street and gets up further the block, and I just see him just acting all weird, like bugging out. Like looks like he was like sending just like trying to like pray or beg or plead. He just looked. It was obvious that he was greatly disturbed in the spirit. And another time, when it was just me and or the three brothers, which two of them are the other heads. All right, but we were out and we end up getting detained by the police. So it was a pretty rowdy. Yeah, it was a pretty rowdy day and all that. So being stirred up in the spirit, it got the attention of law enforcement. But first, there was another like Amalekite, or one of the other Arkham. He was like really vexed in the spirit. He didn't really come up on he was on some trash, but he wasn't being disruptive or anything. Just saying I'm Jewish and all that. And we one of the Arkham started like cursing him out and all that. But then this guy he walks up to the police. We see him talking to the police before they come up and detain us and all that. So like he might have been an agent or something. He's bearing false witness or whatever the case. But might have been roughly maybe a month or two afterward. I was just like driving down another main street. I happened to like peep him like through the window, and it looks like he was like he had to use some sort of like walker or some some people's like either back or legs are fucked up and they gotta have that like walker and everything. But like he must have only been in his 40s or whatever. So maybe the Lord later on the Lord render judgment upon him. And then it's another time, maybe like a year or two ago, there was this other one of the Arkham called him out as being like a scoffer. Like I was in the middle of having like a dialogue, just trying to reason with him, debunk the madness that he was spewing, and trying to show him the right way, but he wasn't. He was bucking up against it. But then so we tell him to hit the road and all that. But then same thing, he gets up the block. All right, and then he starts like bugging out, clapping his hands, jogging in place like he's in church and all that. Just being weird. When he was he was cool. And there's been other testimonies of people, they start out normal, but they get condemned, and then they're then they get all bugged out. That's the judgment of the Lord. It doesn't always happen immediately, but at a certain point it does happen. All right, because the scriptures are a spiritual weapon. All right, so got one more scripture. Going to be in Hebrews. All right, Hebrews 4:12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, all right, and sharper than any two-edged sword. All right, so all right, these scriptures, the volume of the book, is a weapon, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrows, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. All right, so these long story short, the scriptures, to the wicked, even us, we get cut and all that, but to the wicked, it's a weapon, unto their judgment and destruction. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.